Jaime, thank you for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about why you're here and the work that you've been doing.
I have been working with several researching groups as Universidad Complutense de Madrid, Cambridge University, University of Orleans, and University of La Laguna. And I have been going with them. The first couple of weeks I was trying to track the lava flows, and I was actually also observing the volcano vents. After those 2 weeks, we also were collecting samples, and we were sending the samples to Madrid lab, because unfortunately we don't have a petrology lab in Canary Islands, so we have to send the samples to Madrid.
Okay. So there's a lot of scientists here in La Palma doing a lot of work. Is there a lot of the same work being done by different people? Give us a sense of what's happening here.
That's something that I think we should try to encourage the PEVOLCA, the Volcanic Committee, to change, because there are a lot of people making research. There have been even scientists from other places of the world who have been collecting samples and making research. They are not sharing the data to the committee, to the scientific committee. We can't forget that this is first of all, it's an emergency situation. So the science should be under the service of the situation, and it shouldn't be a competition of the different groups to get the best paper on these paper magazines. It shouldn't be like that. So I think there is a lack of cooperation in some way, and it should be a central authority who should control very well the way that they collected the data and the way that they share it with the committee. And because otherwise we are running as hands without a head, not getting anything, not getting a result. So I think that's something we should change, definitely.
That's a dramatic statement. So in other words, there's a lot of science being done, but it's not helping the people of La Palma.
Yes, it's good because certain teams that in the past haven't worked together are beginning to cooperate. But on the top of that, there are people that are going on their own, and they want to do their own business and don't want to share. And I think that's very sad. Anyway, the PEVOLCA has managed to get a good amount of data from certain groups. You know, the main groups are cooperating, EGN, Involcan, University of Madrid, University of La Laguna hasn't developed many of their results yet, but it's a matter of cooperation. It's a matter of putting the data together, and also it's very good to share the samples, because if you're going to a lava flow and you collect one sample, why not collecting 2 samples or dividing the samples in different portions, and you can send that samples to different labs, and you can get the results easier and faster. I want to remind, for example, that in the last Freyjadalsfall eruption in Iceland, they have a mobile lab, and they have results of the petrology in 1 hour. So, and we don't have that here. We have to send the samples to Madrid or to England, and I don't think it's good enough.
This is the thing I can't get my head around. The local authorities here in the Canary Islands have spent a lot of money on monitoring, but when the eruption started in La Palma, which is, we all knew, the most likely candidate for an eruption, we knew this, but there's no on-site, on-island testing facilities. Why not?
I think it's a lack of, I think it's a matter of opportunity. If we have a look to the COVID, for example, I think something similar happened. I mean, you don't expect that an emergency like this is going to happen. So basically the politicians invest the money in something that they feel are going to give them votes. They are not worried at all about the needs of the people. They are not worried about what the people really need, and they are not worried about the consequences that could happen. In this case, has happened or couldn't happen. I mean, it's a matter of probabilities, because they are not sure it's going to be a volcanic eruption in the next couple of years. They don't want to invest in something that they don't know if it's going to occur or not. And that's the case. In this case, I think that generally speaking, the risk was there. We have just heard about it. We have just heard about the increasing levels of sulfur dioxide.